What actor or actress got cast in a role that they normally wouldn't play and absolutely crushed it? Bill Hader in Barry. Very well done. Ah, the scene. Why did you say that? Immediately followed by the soft and incredibly defeated "I told you to get out of the car, man." That scene cemented Bill Hader as an incredible writer and actor in my mind, and season 2 proved that he is just as talented as a director. Cannot wait for S3. Hader in Barry is giving me serious Cranston vibes. It's a transformative role. Hey Ike, yeah shit bud. You want a little pieie? No, but in all seriousness, that show is fantastic. Can't wait for next season. Jimmy Simpson in Westworld. I have to admit it took me a long time to not see him as a McPoyle. Jimmy Simpson is great in everything he does. I will always remember one time I binged a season of 3 TV shows in a row, Person of Interest, Always Sunny, and Psych, and he showed up in all 3 as totally different characters, but an absolute highlight each time. You should check out Breakout Kings. It only aired for 1 season, but he was great in it. Love him as Mary in Psych. He is billed in the new Psych 2 movie too. So excited. I only ever knew him as the hacker from one of the 2 terrible White House attack movies. I can't remember which one it was though. That and House of Cards. Who Laurie in House made the role his own. An English comedian well known for shows such as Laurie and Fry and The Awesome Blackadder to add apparently his role in Stuart Little in 1999 is much more remembered for many people. I may be a bit older than that target demographic. The only problem is he's having a super hard time shaking House. Watching Chance or Veep, people still see House. It seems I need to start watching Catch-22. Didn't even know he was in it. He absolutely crushed it as the villain in The Night Manager though. He was f***ing terrifying as Roper. They say that the first thing the creators of House said after Laura's audition was, "Finally, an American actor." Leslie Nielsen was known for being a serious actor before Airplane. Robert Stack, Lloyd Bridges and Peter Graves were primarily serious actors too. Great casting to have authoritative actors in those roles. They would have been perfect in those roles in a serious thriller with the same plot, which makes the comic spoof that much more effective. That was actually the intention of the movie. They deliberately cast serious actors because it made the lines seem funnier when said with a straight face from a straight face. Lloyd Bridges was concerned at first because he didn't think a deadpan delivery was going to land the jokes. Robert Stack told him, "Lloyd, we are the joke." Sounds like he chose the wrong week to stop sniffing glue. I say this all the time and a lot of people don't get it. Uncultured swine. Not sure if it counts because it's a little different, but Hugo Weaving. Not many actors can go from an A+ drag queen in The Adventure of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert to one of the most recognizable villains of all time in The Matrix till Lord Elrond. Expectations are lost on him because he's so versatile. Don't forget the in V for Vendetta. And the one consistently villainous character in every timeline in Cloud Atlas. And Red Skull in the first Captain America. And the voice of Megatron in the first 3 Transformers movies, if voice acting counts. Tom Hanks in Philadelphia. Tom Hanks was the guy from Big. He was light entertainment through and through, and then all of a sudden he's winning back-to-back Oscars for playing an AIDS sufferer and a man with a learning difficulty. Life is like a box of chocolates, you never know what you're gonna get. Unless you're Tom Hanks, then you get Oscars. Actually, you can just look at the lid of the box of chocolates, and it tells you what you are going to get. Until you look in, and you realize that someone stole your favorite chocolates and left you with the mints. That was my praline. Jeff Daniels in Dumb and Dumber. Everyone was advising him not to do the role because it would ruin his career. He absolutely nailed it. Thanks for all the upvotes. I'd be thrilled more than anything if Jeff Daniels saw this and it made his day. Jeff Daniels never moved to Hollywood either, but rather stayed in Chelsea, Michigan, which his agent advised against. He also founded the Purple Rose Theater Co. there. This is the first time I've seen my hometown mentioned on Reddit. Only know for Jeff Daniels and Jiffy Mix. The studio didn't want him, but Kari made them give him the role. Yup, Jim specifically said he didn't want another comedy actor because instead of working with him, they'd try to upstage him, and they wouldn't come off as best friends and instead would appear as friendly rivals, which isn't really feasible when both characters are supposed to be morons. Bryan Cranston from Hallen MITM to Walter in Breaking Bad. Nailed it. He's just a great actor, he nailed all his roles. From Watley, the dentist to the stars, to LBJ, to Trumbo. Has what they call an A-list actor. Totally professional on the set, top of the acting class, and will bring in millions for a studio, just because his name's in the CRS. You'll also notice that he began in traditional theater, a common theme among the best actors. Love Bryan Cranston. Has what they call an A-list actor. That's not at all what an A-list actor is. An A-lister is a huge star who can open a movie on name alone. Tom Cruise, Jennifer Lawrence, back in the day, Bruce Willis, Mel Gibson, Will Smith. Cranston is a million miles from that. He's a very good actor, but he's no one's definition of A-list any more than Steve Buscemi or Guy Pearce is. Seriously, how has no one else said this? Matthew McConaughey in True Detective. I'd argue Lincoln Lawyer was his first big jump over to more serious stuff, but yeah, he crushed it in the first season. I'd agree. The Lincoln Lawyer 2011, Killer Joe 2011, Mud 2012, Dallas Buyers Club 2013 were all before True Detective 2014. Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday. Who would have thought? He killed it. Watch Kiss Kiss Bang Bang for another really great role of his. Val Kilmer not even earning a nomination for that role has been considered one of the greatest and unfair Oscar snubs in movie history. The scene where one of the other writers asked him why he's still helping Wyatt Earp when he's so sick. One of my favorite scenes of all time. Andre Braugher, Brooklyn 99. It seems harder to make the leap from drama to comedy. That being said, Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting. I love B99, but that show owes everything to Andre. His credibility as an actor makes that show much more than the sum of its parts. I think he's so good because his character is a foil for Andy Samberg's. Jake is goofy, immature, emotive, and all around the funny guy. Holt is basically the opposite, still funny but in a completely deadpan way. That show is an excellent example of a fantastic ensemble cast. There isn't a character that is unlikable, and they're all unique in their own ways. The writers really nailed the characters. Robin Williams when he was playing a serious role, almost any of them. I think it was Good Will Hunting that made me truly realize his acting talent was so good. What a legend. He received a full scholarship to study at Juilliard. His acting chops were no joke. A prof at Juilliard also told him to just start acting before he graduated because they had nothing left to teach him. He and his bestie Christopher Reeves, I think. They were. It broke Mr. Williams' heart when Christopher Reeve had his accident. Will Ferrell in Stranger Than Fiction. Watch him in Everything Must Go. Great movie. One of my favorite criminally underrated movies, and Harold just thought it was a Wednesday. Also Dustin Hoffman killed it. Aren't you relieved to know you're not a Gollum? Came here to say the same thing. Great film and shows WF as an actor, and not just a shouty comedy character. Stephanie Beatriz does such a good job at Rosa Diaz on Brooklyn Nine-Nine that when you see an interview with her real voice and bubbly personality you find it so hard to believe. I was watching an episode of Modern Family one day when I had a mind-blowing realization that Gloria's poor, thickly accented Colombian little sister was, in fact, the same actress. This fact makes her character on BoJack Horseman that much better. Holt also used to be a serious actor who only took Shakespearean roles. Not saying he's not serious in B99, but imagining him yelling bone after seeing any of his other work is jarring lol. What is funny is, when Rosa does her annoying Valley Girl act, and then you see stuff like this interview, and realize that's kinda how she actually is. Well, not annoying but the voice and mannerisms are there. If you didn't grow up watching The Wire, it would be baffling to see Idris Elba playing Stringer Bell, an American Baltimore gangster. The English accent is jarring every time I see him in another movie or TV series. He is such a great actor and crushes the role. As a British guy it is very refreshing to see something like Luther, where the accents are a British person's idea of what a stereotypical British accent is. You mean actual British accents, and not the usual Hollywood choices of Victorian paupers or the landed gentry? Also, have you ever met British person that thought Tyrion Lannister's accent was authentic? I mean, to be fair, it could be an authentic Westeros accent, but it's supposed to be British, yet ends up sounding Swedish or something. Yeah, he straight up sounds like he went to international school, but still better than a lot of fake British accents out there, for instance Don Cheadle in Ocean's 11. I'm still angry about that. Bruce Willis as John McClane was mostly a comedic actor before Die Hard. It was also surreal seeing the late Alan Rickman as Severus Snape. At first I couldn't believe it was him. Having first seen Alan Rickman as the Sheriff of Nottingham, Snape wasn't that far a stretch for me. Seeing him in Love actually was weird, though. This one is especially crazy to think about because all the action roles at the time were for Sylvester or Arnold pretty much. Bruce Willis turned into an action legend of the same caliber. Daniel Radcliffe in Swiss Army Man, normally he plays an alive person. In this one he plays a dead person. He also crushed a lot of things. I knew that movie was going to be weird going in, but I didn't realize just how weird. I enjoyed watching it, but I still haven't decided if I liked it or not. I so agree. Thoroughly entertained and caught up in the story, but after and to this day I'm not sure if I liked it. I think I did, but I'm also slightly repulsed by my reaction. James McAvoy in Split had to play a child as an adult and a woman as a man, and he crushed it. Split was phenomenal, absolutely amazing. Glass was disappointing. Except for when McAvoy shot through like 10 different personalities in about 3 minutes, when they kept flashing that light. It was amazing to watch the very real transformations happen so quickly.